Okay, here we have the template for the outline. Within the template, you have Roman numerals, then you have capital letters, and then you have regular numbers, okay? Each one stands for something else. So the Roman numeral is the first heading. This lets me know that in this Roman numeral, everything underneath it is going to be related to that Roman numeral, okay? So for example, for the first paragraph, I'm going to title it Introduction. So this introduction is the title for Roman numeral number I, or letter I. Okay? Next, after that, we have capital letter A and capital letter B, because for the introduction, you're going to be telling me what the hook is and what the thesis is. So let me just focus on that right now to kind of get you moving. Okay, so let's just say here I've already split it into two screens. I have one over here that I'm going to be editing, and then this one is like my notes. Okay, so for the hook right here, all I have to do is highlight, and then I'm gonna highlight it so that you can see. You don't have to highlight this, of course, obviously, right? But I want to change it. So let's just say for my hook, I decide to ask a series of questions. So I'm gonna start off my hook asking a couple of questions, maybe like 2 or 3 questions. So here I'm literally gonna write three questions revolving around the choice related to abortion. Okay? So, and then let me highlight it so you can see it. Okay, so if you see my hook, I'm not writing down the 3 questions that I'm going to write down for my essay, but I'm highlighting that for my hook, there's going to be 3 questions revolving around the choice related to abortions. So my first question would be like, let me see, something related to abortions. Is a decision for pro-life or pro-choice easy to make? Have you ever thought about picking between ending or letting a life continue? And then finally, you can ask like a third and final question saying, how many people do you think struggle with this situation every day? Okay, so those would be the 3 questions I would ask as a part of my hook. It's called a series question hook, and you're letting me know for letter A, as part of the introduction, you're going to ask 3 questions revolving around the choice that is abortion, right? So that's the hook. All right, let's do the thesis. Now your thesis is going to be a full thesis. This is going to be the response to your question. So first I need to know what my question is, right? So over here, let's just say my essential question, my topic of course is abortion. Okay, so topic abortion. My essential question, let's just say I want to know to what extent has abortion become a norm in society? effect has that had on women? Okay. So let's just say my essential question is very focused. It's about abortion, but I want to know, to what extent has abortion become a norm in society? Meaning, how abortions is an option now for women in society. Like if someone becomes pregnant and they just find out, it's not like the only option they have is to have the baby. Like, oh, now they have to go to the hospital 9 months later and have the baby. They have options, right? They can, one, have the baby. They can, two, give the baby up for adoption. They can choose to have an abortion. There's a variety of other options, right? But abortion has definitely become one of the choices in society today. So I want to know, to what extent has abortion become a norm in society, and what effect has that had on women, right? Because there was a time in society when women did not have the choice of abortion. Okay, it was something that was kept really hush hush if it did happen, and now it's not. Now it's very open. You know, people advocate for and against it. So let's move on. All right. If that is my question, my thesis, which is right here, has to be a response to that question. Okay. So I have to create a response based off of my research. See, as it says, proposed interpretation of research or solution. So I have to think, how am I going to answer this? And as part of my thesis, I am going to write down an answer to this question. So let's just say my answer to this question is going to be and I'm typing with one hand, so forgive me if it's slow. Society has evolved to present many options for women in the 21st century. Comma, the controversial yet very real and acceptable whoops, am I covering something? Yes, very real and acceptable choice for pregnancies is abortion due to women's rights movements, comma, medical advancements, period. Actually, I'm going to do it like right there. I'm going to stop right there, because I want to give the option so you can see that you can have a minimum of 2 or a maximum of 4. Okay, because as you can see right here, I put it in as a note. There should be no less than 2 and no more than 4 main points. So let's just say my 2 main points are going to be women's rights movements and medical advancements, because these are 2 of the main components that I feel, based off of my research, have made abortion a norm in society and have made it like an option for women. Okay, so I'm going to talk about those two things. Those two things are going to be my talking points. Okay, so as you can see, I have the start of my outline. I have the topic, which is abortion. I have the essential question or the controlling idea, which is to what extent has abortion become a norm in society, and what effect has that had on women? My hook to start off my introduction as part of my Roman letter I is 3 questions revolving around the choice related to abortions, which I previously mentioned. So if you want to rewind the video and hear those questions again, you can do that. My second part of the introduction is going to be my thesis, which is a full thesis. I'm completely writing it out with my supporting evidence, right? Women's rights movements and medical advancements. Now, as part of my reasons down here, you're probably thinking, okay, if I already put them in my thesis, what am I supposed to put here? You're here maybe for women's rights movements. I have 2 things I want to talk about, right? So I would put my first talking point, which could be, let's just say it's women's rights in, let's just say 1970.
Where are the other ones?
And here, I'm going to talk about women's rights in 2000. Let's just say 2000. Let's just say 2010. Let's make a big jump there. Okay? So let's just say I have facts and information on these 2. Guys, can you keep it down? Let's just say I have these two facts, right? I have a lot of note cards talking about the women's rights in 2010 and in 1970, right? And so these are 2 points that I'm going to be talking about. So I already know that for my title for reason 1, it's going to be women's rights in 1970. See? So my first reason over here underneath my thesis is going to be my second Roman numeral, which is right here. Something's going on. I guess it's not letting me highlight it. Okay, well, right there, my second Roman numeral is women's rights. Whoops, there's a typo. Women's rights in 1970. And underneath women's rights in 1970, of course, I'm going to have something that I'm going to talk about and provide an example or evidence. Something that I found in a quote, some sort of statistic, something like that. Okay? So I'm going to talk about how women's rights started off, and in the 1970s, it was not something that was common for women to have abortions. It was frowned upon. Families hid it if it did happen. It was a very expensive procedure, etc. Blah blah. Right? I could talk about one of those points, and then I can give like evidence about it. And if that's all I have, then that's all I have. But if I have more, then I write another paragraph, which is another key point. Okay? So keep that in mind. Roman numeral 3 will then become my women's rights in 2010. So down here for Roman numeral 3, I will literally, as the title, I will input that. Ta-da! Whoops. Control C. Oops, I made a mistake. No. Okay, fine, I have to type it out. I'm trying to do shortcuts here and it's not working. Women's rights in 2010. So, there you go. I've already started the outline. I have my topic, I have my essential question, my introduction, I've covered the hook, the thesis, which is a full thesis. I have 2 of my reasons right here. I started them down here, and now all I'm missing is to input what my key points are going to be and what evidence I'm using. Okay? So this is what your outline should look like. So that's why when you look at the notes that I gave you, everything that's in the notes are like reminders as to what you're supposed to type out here. Okay, the only thing I'm missing here is my title, so you guys need to make sure you have a creative title, something that you're using that is catching your audience's attention or making it interesting. So for example, my title could be the toughest choice in life. That's going to be my title. I didn't capitalize some things, but of course yours has to be capitalized. Let me go back and capitalize so I don't confuse you guys. Choice. The toughest choice in life. There you go. And this is how you continue to do the outline, okay? If you get stuck somewhere along the line, send me a text message. Let me know. I hope this helps.